I have officially watched the worst film of 2021 so far that broke me physically, emotionally, and intellectually, that I have no other choice but to do an angry Brad review, because that's the only way I can get my true feelings out about this film. So if you guys are really excited as I am, let's get to it. Welcome back, film fans. This is Brad from Let's Be Real Brad, and today on the channel I want to talk about the brand new dark comedy crime drama thriller film called Karen. Karen is written and directed by Coke Daniels, and it stars Tara Manning in the lead role. This film is about Karen, a reference to the American Karen stereotype of an entitled, racist, and demanding white woman attempts to displace the new black family that moved into the neighborhood, but they won't back down without a fight. I bet you guys are probably wondering, why in the world would I go out of my way to watch a movie called Karen that has awful reviews and was nominated for Worst Picture at the Razzies, and it has a hilarious over-the-top premise, but those are the exact reasons why I wanted to watch this movie in the first place. This movie's premise is so over-the-top and so ridiculous that I wanted to see how bad this movie really was, and for the first half of the movie, I was laughing and cringing so hard at some of the dialogue in this movie. By the time you get to the second half of the movie, it tries to go for a very serious, dark, dramatic tone about this very sensitive subject matter, and I think this movie handles it in the most inappropriate way possible, because it just has the worst characters, the worst dialogue, and everything about the second half feels way more hilarious than it did the first half, because the first half is trying to be hilariously bad in a way, but I'm just making fun of it. The second half, I was ripping into this movie. The biggest reason why this movie fails is that it's trying to balance these two tones, these two halves of a movie, but they never blend together, and I know it's trying to be the next Get Out, but when you have a movie like this that has some of the worst performances I have seen this year that were so laughably bad, and no one in this movie ever felt like the character they were playing, whether you have the main couple that just is so bland, uninteresting, with the most boring performances possible, and then you have Tara Manning, who is going all out for this role, and I guess she's the best performance because I really hated her character, but even then her performance isn't very good at all because of the direction she was given. The directing is so awful that I don't get a sense of what Coke Daniels was even trying to go for. I don't see any of his own style that's going into this movie. It feels like it was made by an amateur filmmaker, and that's okay, but this movie has no passion, no talent, and it doesn't feel like anyone's really trying to make a good movie here. The cinematography is some of the worst that I have seen in quite a long time. It is so awful. It just looks like they were just filmed on the camera. They didn't color correct it in any way possible. The editing is hilariously bad, especially when you realize, especially during the fight scenes, that they're really trying not to hit each other because they don't have the talent or the choreography to pull off these fight scenes. This movie just feels like it was made by a bunch of different ideas that they wanted this Karen character to do, instead of just having this movie feel like it was made as a whole, like every scene needed to matter and needed to be in this certain sequence. This movie doesn't have that at all, and this couple is so damn dumb. They annoyed me so much. They could have easily taken out this Karen character so easily, and there are 500 alternative solutions that they easily could have done, especially because they're supposed to be smart characters and they do the dumbest things possible. One of the worst aspects about the screenplay is that since this movie has a collection of scenes that are just randomly placed into this film, there is a tiny subplot to the film that involves security cameras that doesn't come back into the movie at all, as they make a whole big deal about it, and then they just don't use it for no reason at all. I think this movie just forgot about some of these aspects while they were making this movie, and it just feels so incomplete and so discombobulated that it doesn't feel like a real movie. Overall, guys, Karen has to be the worst film of the year, with the insanely low production quality that looks so awful, with horrendous directing, some of the worst cinematography I've seen this year, horrible performances, one of the worst screenplays I have seen in a long time, and with dealing with the subject matter that is so sensitive and so hot right now, where people do need to be educated and learn about these things, and they don't do that at all with this movie, and they make every character so poorly written and so bad that it doesn't make anybody in this movie look good or bad. It just looks all awful. I am giving Karen a strong 1 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video, and I want to know below in the comment section, have you even heard of Karen? And if you have somehow seen this movie, let me know your thoughts about it, because I would love to have a great discussion about it with you. But before you guys check out this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a like if you want to, and ring that notification bell so I can see you all in the following video.